Good day, everyone. Today, I will be discussing a topic that is deeply connected to our identity as Filipinos: citizenship and obligations in the Philippine Constitution. We will also look at how these responsibilities are reflected in the life of an extraordinary woman, Gabriela Silang, a Filipina revolutionary leader. Additionally, we will examine how her resistance against oppression aligns with the philosophical teachings of Socrates, which is a great thinker who valued justice and civic duty above all. By the end of this presentation, I hope we can reflect on how we, as citizens, can uphold our responsibilities and contribute to the betterment of our nation. The Philippine Constitution is not just a legal document, it is the foundation of our rights and responsibilities as Filipinos. While we enjoy privileges such as voting, protection from the state, and access to public services, we also have duties to fulfill. These responsibilities ensure that our nation remains just, orderly, and progressive. Gabriela Silang, as a freedom fighter, embodies the ideal citizen, someone who does not only enjoy her rights but also sacrifices for the good of her country. Her resistance against Spanish colonization is a prime example of civic duty in action. Now, let's define what it means to be a Filipino citizen according to our Constitution. Article 4 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution states that a Filipino citizen is someone who is: number 1, born of Filipino parents, which following the principle of jus sanguinis, or right of blood. Number 2 is becomes naturalized through legal means. Citizenship gives us rights such as the right to vote and participate in governance, the right to be protected by the state, the right to serve in public office. However, these rights come with responsibilities, which we will now discuss in the next slide. Being a citizen does not just mean enjoying rights, it also means fulfilling obligations. According to the Philippine Constitution, citizens have the following duties. Number 1 is defending the state. In times of war or national emergency, Filipinos may be called upon for military or civil service. Number 2 is obeying the law. Following national laws or ensures democracy and social order. Number 3 is promoting economic and social development. So, us contributing to the economy through education, employment, and entrepreneurship helps build the nation. Number 4 is protecting the environment. Ensuring the sustainability of our natural resources benefits future generations. And lastly, upholding human rights and justice. Advocating for fairness and equality strengthens our society. And Gabrielle Silang, as we will see in the next slide, went beyond these basic responsibilities and took extraordinary steps to fight for the nation's freedom. Gabriela Silang is a name that stands for courage and patriotism. She's born in 1731 and she was married to Diego Silang, who is a revolutionary leader who sought independence from the Spanish rule. When Diego was assassinated, Gabriela took up his cause, leading an armed resistance against the Spanish forces. She became the first Filipino to lead a rebellion, demonstrating extraordinary bravery. Unfortunately, she was captured and executed in 1763. But her legacy of resistance and leadership lives on. Her story reminds us that true citizenship means taking action even when it is difficult or dangerous. Now, how does Gabriela Silang's bravery connect with philosophy? Let's look at Socrates, one of history's greatest thinkers. Socrates believed in the moral responsibility of citizens to seek justice, even when it meant challenging those in power. He encouraged questioning authority and acting based on moral principles rather than fear. So, similarly, Gabriela Silang did not submit to oppression. Instead, she took action based on what she believed was right. Why Socrates' philosophy relates to Gabriela Silang. So they both share key principles. These are: number 1, justice over comfort. Socrates chose to stand by his beliefs even when it led to his execution. On the other hand, Gabriela Silang fought for her freedom despite knowing the risks. Number two is moral duty. Both figures felt a deep obligation to act for the good of their society. Number three is challenging oppression. Socrates questioned authority to uncover truth, just as Gabriela Silang opposed Spanish rule for the freedom of her people. Their stories remind us just not being a good citizen is not just about following laws, it's about standing up for what is right. To summarize, the Philippine Constitution grants us rights but also assigns us responsibilities. Gabriela Silang exemplifies the ideal citizen who goes beyond basic duties to fight for justice. And Socrates' philosophy reinforces the idea that true citizenship involves questioning injustice and acting with real moral courage. As we reflect on Gabriela Silang's bravery and Socrates' teachings, let's ask ourselves, how can we apply these principles in modern civic engagement? Are we doing our part as responsible citizens? Are we willing to stand for justice when necessary? The fight for a just and democratic society is not over. It continues with us. Our Constitution gives us the foundation, but it is our duty to build upon it. That is all for my presentation. Maraming salamat for your time and attention.